In this video, we're talking about the all-new Toyota Tundra. This is the iForce Max TRD Pro. It's a beast. Now, I've driven a couple of different iterations of the all-new Tundra at a couple of different events, including our Truck Rodeo event, which is an off-roading event. We're gonna throw some of that footage into this video as well. But I spent 2 weeks with this thing. I'm super excited to let you guys know what I think about it. So let's dive into the review. So first off, you do have two options when looking at an all new Tundra. You have the Tundra and the iForce Max, and those are going to depend on the powertrains, which we're about to take a look at here. But looking at the iForce Max, you have a ton of different trim levels to choose from, depending on what exactly you're looking at doing with the truck. So at the base, you have an SR, then an SR5, then you jump up to the limited trim, and then the platinum trim, and then the 1794 edition, which is super nice. Then of course the TRD Pro, which is the off-roading beast, and then the capstone at the very top of the line, an all new luxury trim for the Tundra. Obviously in this video, we're gonna be focusing mostly on this TRD Pro, with touching a little bit on the differences between the iForce Max and the regular Tundra. And to do that, we first need to check out the engine under the hood. And the iForce Max is a twin turbocharged V6 hybrid engine. This one is 4x4, obviously, because it's a TRD Pro. This pushes 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque. And with that, let's close up the hood, check out the bed, and then we'll move into the interior. So this is the Crew Max with the 5-foot 5-inch bed. It does have the tough liner in there already, and besides that, it is a pretty standard bed. Nothing too fancy going on with the tailgate. No real steps that help you get into the bed. The reach over isn't terrible, although this is a tall truck with the TRD Pro package. But let's go ahead and talk about the exterior design. All right, and obviously it's not just new engines. We have an all new exterior design that looks really good on this truck, especially this one, the TRD Pro, with the blacked out grille, the massive tires. Let's check out the exterior design. So I really do like the exterior design here for the new Tundra. Definitely needed. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but seeing it in person, it definitely does look good, especially this TRD Pro package. I like the big grille, the big blacked out grille. The paint color here is Solar Octane, and again, I think this looks really good on this truck, especially this one. And once you get it like dirty with some mud, it looks really good. You have these camo like patterns all over the exterior, just like you do in the interior, and those look really cool, and it's kind of a subtle touch. We have 18-inch BBS forged aluminum wheels with Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. Definitely beefy, can definitely handle some off-roading. We have the TRD Pro off-road suspension with Fox shocks and a 1.1-inch front lift. And of course, we do have that LED light bar up front and the big heritage-style Toyota badging on the front grille. All really makes this thing much more of a beastly looking truck. Back seats are just as big as you might imagine. Plenty of room for 3 passengers, full adults back here, plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom. You also get your own USB charging back here, a USB type C and a USB type A, as well as a normal wall type outlet. You can also see we have the panoramic sunroof in this thing, and it does come pretty far back. And just like the front seats, we do have this camo-like pattern on the back seats, as well as the red stitching in this black leather. All right, now inside the driver position of the Tundra, let's take a look around the interior really quick, see some of the modern features. Everything is new and updated, which is great. And then we'll get this bad boy out on the road. All right, first off, let's kick it on, push button start. And you should immediately notice the large screens in this thing. These are the TRD Pro seats, black leather, red stitching. You got that camo pattern in the seats. They are heated seats. They are also cold seats. Super comfortable, really nice. Even the driving position here, super comfortable, easy for getting comfortable with the steering wheel and the pedals. Plenty of headroom. Steering wheel itself is nice perforated leather. You've got your red line up here so you know exactly where the top of your steering wheel is. TRD on the bottom. Nice controls here on the steering wheel. Easy to control what you need to as a driver. Nice big all digital driver information display back here. Got a lot of extra buttons here on the side of the steering wheel, including for a heated steering wheel, parking sensors off, popping your fuel cap, and your TRD light bar here, as well as the lights on the bed of the truck. Do have a traditional gear shifter here. Putting it in reverse, you do have a 360 camera. Nice big backup camera here with this nice big screen. You do have a wireless charging port for your phone, as well as an interface here for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. We have two more ports down here, USB Type-C and USB Type-A for charging only. You have a slew of controls over here for trailering to turn your cameras on, traction control, hazard lights, and a diff lock. Back behind the gear shifter is your four-wheel drive settings. So you have two-wheel high, four-wheel high, and four-wheel low. You just push it in and push it back. And then you have some drive modes here that can be toggled through. So you have sport, normal, and eco. You have a tow haul settings, crawl control. So you have all the settings that you need for your off-roading features. Super nice interior here in the TRD Pro. And from my experience, all of them are pretty nice interiors. Let's go ahead and get this thing out on the road. We'll talk about the way that it drives, as well as some off-roading with some clips from our off-roading events. And then we'll pull back over, talk about the price and some of my final thoughts. All right, so driving this thing, it is big. It is a tank. It is dominating on the road. Of course, not to necessarily other big trucks, but it is a big truck. That being said, it's super smooth, easy to drive, super comfortable. Everything's easy to touch. Everything's laid out really well, as you would expect. Suspension in this off-roading truck is really good, so it handles bumps and rough roads really well. Now, during the 2 weeks that I drove this for the review, I didn't really take this thing off-road. Don't really have a place to do that, but we did take this off-road at a couple of events, so we'll talk about that right now. This year's Truck Rodeo event was held in Decatur, Texas, at the all-new off-road course at Eagle Canyon Raceway. The course included some technical sections like a rock climb and a dip into some water, a hill climb with some pretty steep angles, and then a back section with the opportunity to open it up a bit more. The Tundra TRD Pro was one of the select vehicles that could tackle any obstacle on the course, and it did so with ease. The new platform isn't just capable, it's comfortable and loaded with tech. Standard on the TRD Pro models are a slew of off-road upgrades that enhance off-pavement exploration. Multi-Terrain Select offers adjustable settings to help control wheel spin on a variety of terrain. Crawl Control functions as a low-speed off-road cruise control that allows the driver to focus on steering while it maintains one of 5 selectable speeds. Downhill Assist Control helps the driver navigate tricky slopes by limiting the speed of the vehicle during descents. The TRD Pro comes standard with an electronically locking rear differential to provide added traction. Multi-terrain monitor also comes standard on the Pro, allowing the driver to check the immediate surroundings for potential obstacles. Pressing a button on the vehicle activates the front, rear, and side cameras to get a 360 view of the vehicle. For maximum off-road performance, the TRD Pro grades are fitted with 2.5-inch diameter Fox internal bypass shocks. The front Fox shocks provide the truck with a 1.1-inch front lift. The TRD Pro gains additional off-road features, including a new TRD Pro front stabilizer bar, aluminum front skid plate, additional underbody protection, and unique all-terrain Falcon tires. Red painted suspension parts add a distinctive TRD design touch. So it definitely has the off-road prowess, no doubt about that. We are also running that iForce Max twin turbo powertrain. So you would assume that this thing gets decent gas mileage, and it gets okay gas mileage from my experience. It's rated at 18 miles per gallon city, 20 miles per gallon highway. My one and biggest gripe about driving this truck is actually the shape of the hood. So looking out over the hood, it looks really nice. You've got those big black plastic domes on there. It's got a lot of different cuts and shapes in the hood. But the cut in the back of the hood actually allows the sun to hit that and reflect back into your eyes, which is definitely not great. And it does depend on your exact height sitting where you're driving, obviously the angle that the sun is hitting it at. But it did happen to me a couple of times while driving this thing. And even after I noticed it the second time, my wife was in the truck with me. She didn't notice it because she was lower down, but as soon as she sat up, she could notice it as well. Could be an easy fix with a matte sticker or something like that, but definitely questionable how that made it all the way through to production. All right, so it's a super nice driving vehicle. Let's quickly talk about the price. Base price for a base all new Tundra iForce Max is $36,965. Of course, it's going to be the base SR trim. For a TRD Pro, you're looking at minimum of $68,520, which, looking at its competition out there, seems about right. Let's jump out. I'll give you some of my final thoughts and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, guys, so after 2 weeks of driving this thing and having it out at a couple of events, I'm left really impressed. It definitely needed the update, and I think they did a great job with the updates for the Tundra. Drives fantastic, looks good, very comfortable, has all the nice modern tech, and of course this TRD Pro kills it off-road. So if you're considering this over any of its competition, I definitely say it's worth checking out. There are a few things that I mentioned in this video that is kind of iffy for me, or things that you might want to address immediately, but all in all, it's a great truck. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the all new Tundra. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We do a different review every week. Also go check out TXGARAGE.com, where we do a lot of other reviews, written reviews, as well as event and news coverage over there from a lot of great authors. Really worth checking out. But with that, guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching.